All right, today we're going to do my mid-season predictions, halfway through the season. Now, my predictions for the World Series at least don't look too bad. I picked the Dodgers versus the White Sox. Doesn't look too bad right now. That definitely could happen. Very realistic that it could happen. So last year, in 2020, I picked the Rays versus the Braves. Should have happened. I mean, the Rays made it, obviously. Braves choked a 3-1 lead. Let's not talk about that. All right. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do in today's video. But before I get into this video, 92% of you that watch these videos are not subscribed. So go ahead and get your life together and hit that subscribe button, turn notifications, and leave a like. Let's go ahead and get into this video. So let's start off in the American League East like we always do with these prediction videos. Coming in 5th place in my mid-season predictions, I'm going to go with the Baltimore Orioles. I think this is pretty obvious. The Orioles are one of the worst teams in baseball. Definitely not the worst, but they are one of the worst teams in baseball. They have a 38-70 record this year, with a 4-6 in their last 10 and a 3-game losing streak. Now, this video is being filmed on Sunday, August 8th. So, yeah. This won't count their one game in between, but this Orioles team was not meant to win this year. Cedric Mullins has been a great surprise for this team, and they should be very happy with Cedric Mullins, Trey Mancini, John Means. The surprises that they've got from those guys, and their bullpen's been pretty decent as well with Paul Fry, Cesar Valdez. Some of those guys have been pretty well as well. So, with the Baltimore Orioles, 5th place, obviously. They're looking towards the future when Adley Rutschman, Grayson Rodriguez, D.L. Hall, Heston Kjerstad, and more come up. Let's go ahead and go to 4th place. I'm going to stick with the Toronto Blue Jays staying in 4th place. Now, I think that this Blue Jays team, I would love to see them make a playoff run. I really would. But I don't trust that bullpen, especially even in the 9th inning, whether Ryu gets 8 innings. I don't trust Brad Hand in the 9th inning. I just don't. And there's nobody to really trust at all in the Blue Jays bullpen. Yes, their starting pitching is good with Barrios, Ryu, Matz, and Robbie Ray. But the lineup's great as well. The lineup is maybe the best in baseball. But the relief pitching, I just do not think is going to lead them to the playoffs. They're playing really good baseball right now since Jose Barrios straight. And they've got like an 8-1 record since going back to Toronto. And they're 8-2 with a 4-game winning streak, and they're only 2.5 games back of the wild card right now. But I can't realistically see them getting in a wild card spot. In 3rd place, I'm going to go with the Boston Red Sox. Wow, this is a bold prediction, right? The Red Sox were one of the biggest surprises halfway through the season, and they still are, but they're not playing good baseball at all right now. And I'm not trying to over-exaggerate too much to those games that have not been very good for this team. But I think they're going to regret not getting more pitching at the deadline. That's going to be one thing they regret this year. And I think it's going to hurt them a lot. And I think that the bullpen will do fine. I think with Adam Ottavino, Matt Barnes will do fine. The lineup's great as well. But they're going to regret the Kyle Schwarber trade because they could have got pitching instead when they need pitching. And these guys, the more innings that they start to eat up, are just not as good. The Red Sox are 64-47 right now. They have a wild card spot, but they are 2-8 in their last 10 on a 2-game losing streak. This team's not playing good baseball at all in a time that they need to be playing good baseball. In 2nd place is the New York Yankees. They're playing really good baseball since the trade deadline. I don't want to see the Yankees in the playoffs, by the way. But I think that realistically they're going to keep on playing good baseball. Anthony Rizzo's on the COVID list right now, but they're only going to get healthier from here. And they, as well, are 8-2 in their last 10 on a 4-game winning streak, only 1.5 games back of the wild card. And, yeah, coming into 1st place, though, in the American League East, I think we need to just start predicting this every year. Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays have once again surprised us all, even without Tyler Glasnow, even without Nick Anderson, even without all these guys that they're missing. They have like 15 players on the injured list, but still continue to manage to win a lot of games. And this Tampa Bay Rays team, I should predict them to win it every year in the American League East because this team always finds a way. They're in the division lead right now, and they just continue to play good baseball, 66-44 and a 2.5-game lead. They swept the Red Sox. The Rays are playing really good baseball. And if you're a Rays fan, you should be really happy right now with how this team's playing, even without Tyler Glasnow and all the other guys that are injured. And like I said, with this team, they're only going to be getting healthier from here. Let's go ahead and head to the AL Central. In 5th place, Kansas City Royals. This team always just continues to disappoint. I thought that this team coming into the season could be a little bit of a surprise. Definitely not. The Royals need a trade with Merrifield this offseason. It's enough. This Royals team is just bad. Like, they are not good at all. The start of the season was really hot for them. We started thinking, oh my gosh, are they going to compete with the White Sox? No. This team has been a run and just streaks this year. They do a lot more losing than winning in those streaks as well, may I add. And Mike Matheny's not a good manager either. They need to be focusing on the future and focusing on Bobby Witt and how good of a farm system that this team has, and not their current team that's garbage. 47-61 right now, 4-6 in their last 10. Yeah, the AL Central sucks. That's why I'm going to try to go through it a little fast. Fourth place, Minnesota Twins. They're really bad this year too. We thought that the AL Central could be a little better considering the Minnesota Twins, but the Twins have been garbage this year. They have had a lot of injuries. You can use that excuse. But they have built an even good future with selling at the deadline. That helped their future a lot. And the Twins are bad this year. I expect them to possibly be back in contention as soon as next year or 2023 in a not very tough AL Central. In third place, Cleveland baseball team. This might be a surprise to a few people. But the Tigers are not far away. The Tigers are right on their door. And it doesn't matter who gets second or third place in the AL Central. Nobody really cares, honestly. And the Cleveland baseball team is just not playing good. The starting pitching, which always drives this team, is not there this year because they don't have Aaron Savali. They don't have Shane Bieber this year. They don't have those guys that have just led them to a lot of wins. And that's why this Cleveland baseball team is just not good, considering that they have a bad offense as well. Yes, Franmil Reyes and Jose Ramirez. But besides that, their offense is garbage. In second place, Detroit Tigers. We need to start talking about how good of a job A.J. Hinch has done. Yes, he was a big part of the Astros shooting scandal in 2018. Or 2017, I meant. But you've still got to give A.J. Hinch his flowers for how good they've been this year, because they've been very good for a Tigers team that's not very good on paper at all. They're 53-59, 6-4 in their last 10 on a one-game losing streak. This team's got a great pitching future with Mize, Skubal, and all of the pitching that they have for the future. And you've got Spencer Torkelson, who, might be up 2022-ish. I don't know. First place, this is pretty easy. Chicago White Sox. They've already got a 9.5 game lead in the division. They're 64-46 right now. 5-5 in the last 10 on one-game winning streak. Do I need to really talk about them winning this division? It's pretty simple. They're going to win the division. If they don't win this division, they have problems. Like, they literally have very big problems if they don't win this division, which they absolutely are going to. Let's go ahead and head to the AL West. In fifth place, Texas Rangers. This one's pretty obvious. The Rangers don't really have a lot to look forward to besides the prospects that they have. And this Rangers team is bad. They're 39-71. They're going to be competing for the top pick in next year's draft, which could be Elijah Green, some very good players in next year's draft. And the Rangers are bad. They've got some prospects to look forward to, like Justin Foscue, Cole Winn, and Josh Young, Sam Huff. They've got a lot of guys to look forward to in that farm system. And this team is bad right now. They've traded Joey Gallo. Obviously didn't trade Kyle Gibson. But still, Adolis Garcia and Kyle Gibson are about the only exciting thing on this team. In fourth place, I'm going to stick with it. Not stick with it. I think I predicted this about the same in the division. Before the season, Seattle Mariners, I just don't think that they're going to be that good at all. I think that they just had a little run. And if you look at their expected win-loss record, they would be 50-61 compared to 58-53. I just don't think that this team is nearly as good as they played for that couple of weeks that they did. They're 3-7 in their last 10 on a 3-game losing streak. They didn't make any good moves at the deadline besides Diego Castillo. They traded away Kendall Graveman. Just didn't really make a lot of sense at the deadline either, and they have one of the worst front offices in baseball. The Los Angeles Angels are 56 and 54 right now, and they're going to be in third place. They're 6-4 in their last 10 on a 4-game winning streak. Let me explain myself. For one, they've won 2 straight games versus the Dodgers. They're going to be getting Mike Trout back, which is going to be huge for this team. Getting Mike Trout back in their line, it's only going to help this team. So Ohtani's not going to have to at least carry them too mad, which I mean he is, but still. For the Angels, I think that they're going to be in third place. Very good series versus the Dodgers. In second place, Oakland Athletics. If the Athletics and their players that they acquired at the deadline keep on playing like they are, then boy, are they going to be feeling really, really good about their trade deadline with Marte. All the Josh Harrison, Yan Gomes, the way they've played, they could be feeling really good. This team is the second place team. The Astros are the team to beat in that division. Pretty simple. And the Athletics, though, are a team that you probably don't want to mess with in a wild card game or just period, because this team is really sneaky every year. In first place is the Houston Astros. This is pretty obvious. The Astros have maybe the best lineup in baseball, one of the best starting rotations in baseball, and their bullpen is only improving. They're 4-6 in their last 10 on a 3-game losing streak, but they're 65 and 45 right now. They are just about have the best record in the AL. And yeah, this team needs to play a little bit of baseball, but this Astros team is really good. Let's go ahead and head to the NL East. In fifth place, might be a surprise again, Washington Nationals. This Nationals team is bad. They are 3-7, 5-game losing streak. That's not right because they won last night. But yeah, this Nationals team is bad. After trading Turner, after trading Scherzer, after trading all these guys at the deadline, this Nationals team clearly is not wanting to compete, and they're bad. This is not a good baseball team at all. And yeah, I think they finish in fifth place. In fourth place, Miami Marlins. The Marlins have great starting pitching with Rogers, Alcantara, Lopez. They have all the good starting pitching that they have, but struggle to hit the ball at all. But I still think that they'll finish in fourth place just because of how bad the Nationals are. They're 47 and 63 right now, 4-6 in their last 10. They have a series coming up against Colorado, which they should feel pretty good about. Or they're playing Colorado today, is what I meant. Let's go ahead and head to third place. I'm actually going to go with a surprise here, the New York Mets. The Mets have not been playing good baseball, and I'm not overreacting to that. I'm just simply saying that their hitting's bad. Their starting pitching is certainly not good right now, and I don't know that the DeGrom's going to be back this year. So this team probably is not feeling good about themselves at all right now, and their relief pitching is good, obviously, but their hitting and the starting pitching is just not good. I think they finish in third place. In second place, I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Phillies. You can go ahead and start with a bias, I know. But this Phillies team is playing really good baseball. Don't get me wrong. 57 and 53, 7-3 in the last 10 on a 6-game winning streak. Probably headed to 7 with them already having a 2-0 lead on the Mets at the time of filming this video. But this Phillies team is very good. But I just do not trust the bullpen. That's why I have them in second place. Not like I trust the Braves bullpen at all. But I think that I would take the Braves bullpen over the Phillies bullpen, especially losing Ranger Suarez when he's going to be starting. Makes absolutely no sense. They still have Alvarado, Bradley, but I think that this team finishes in second place. And I think this is all by a matter of a game or two, by the way. In first place, the Braves. This you can go ahead and talk about the bias. They're 7-3 in their last 10, 56 and 54, only one game back. I love how the MLB standings are not updated. So if it's not totally updated, excuse me, because I don't know why MLB.com is not updating it or whatever. But let's go ahead and go to the Braves here. Okay, so for the National League, the Braves are actually 2 games back right now, 56 and 55, 6-4 in their last 10. And yeah, This team, I think, is only going to get better with the acquisitions of Adam Duvall, Eddie Rosario, Stephen Vogt. All those guys are only going to help this team. And the starting pitching only is going to get better as well with Yanoa coming back. And, I think that the bullpen is going to get a little better with Richard Rodriguez as well. Let's go ahead and head to the NL Central. 5th place, Pittsburgh Pirates, pretty obvious, 41-70. The Cubs are going to be bad, but they're not going to be so bad that they catch up to the Pirates, considering that they're 11 games better than the Pirates. The Pirates are bad. Ke'Bryan Hayes is apparently open to an extension. He's dumb if he takes an extension from them, honestly, in my opinion. But, this Pirates team is bad. We didn't expect them to be good coming into the year, and they traded Frazier and Richard Rodriguez at the deadline. The Pirates are looking forward to their great future that they have with all these great prospects. 4th place, Chicago Cubs. They're basically doing the same thing, looking towards the future with prospects because this team is in full rebuild mode with the trades of Bryant, Rizzo, and Baez. I don't expect them to re-sign in either of these guys as well. I think that the Cubs are definitely in 4th place in this division. 3rd place, I don't believe in this team either. St. Louis Cardinals. This Cardinals team is not good. Don't even think that because I'm saying you're in 3rd place is something to go ride home about, because it's not. Nolan Arenado came there to win, and he's simply not been able to do that this year. Flaherty's going to be coming back off the injured list. So is Miles Michaelis. But this team is still not particularly just that great. Paul Goldschmidt's had a down season. The starting pitching, like I said, has been garbage, but it'll be getting better with Flaherty and Michaelis coming back. And for this Cardinals team, I wouldn't feel too good about their season because it's not been good. And the bullpen, Alex Reyes walking 5 straight to the Braves. I could hit the strike zone more than that. Yes, they would probably hit 20 home runs by that point, but I could hit the strike zone more than that. 2nd place for the NL Central, Cincinnati Reds. The Reds have had a very good season, 60-51. Obviously, they're not going to be making any play in that division. They're going to be more thinking about the wild card. They're 8-2 in their last 10 and 6 games back, obviously. This Reds team is looking towards that. And the bullpen's only going to get better with TJ Antone and Lucas Sims coming back, along with a good starting pitching with Luis Castillo, Tyler Mahle, Sonny Gray, and more. And the loaded lineup that they have with Winker, Castellanos, and more. And Castellanos just came back from the injured list. In 1st place, pretty simple, Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers are a very good team this year. Very, very good. They need Christian Yelich to come back to his 2019 self. But this starting pitching with the top 3 of Burns, Peralta, and Woodruff is nasty with Hader and Williams and Suter in the back of the bullpen. And they hitting Willie Adames' pickup has been good, along with Rowdy Tellez. Those pickups have been good. But they're going to need Christian Yelich, and their season relies a lot on Christian Yelich, actually. I think they could still make a deep run without him. But if we're talking about the Brewers as a World Series team, they're going to have 2019 Christian Yelich back. Let's go ahead to the NL West now. In 5th place, Arizona Diamondbacks. Do I need to say much about this team? They're garbage. They didn't really sell that much at the deadline either. 35-77. I'm not going to talk about them much more. The Rockies have actually not had a terrible season, 50-61. They're obviously not going to be competing in the NL West, but not a terrible season. The Rockies kept Trevor Story, German Marquez, John Gray, Daniel Bard at the deadline. This team, oh my, they're bad. In 3rd place, though, that's where it starts getting interesting. San Diego Padres. This Padres team has been a big letdown this season to a lot of people, especially with their offseason transactions that they made. They absolutely went all in this offseason. And Tatis now maybe going to play some outfield when he comes back. But Tatis has not been that healthy either. This Padres team has been a disappointment this year. In 2nd place, Los Angeles Dodgers. I think that they're the best team in baseball. But this Dodgers team, I just don't think is going to catch up to the Giants. I think it's pretty simple. They've lost 2 straight to the Angels. They're 66-45 right now, 4 games back. I just don't think simply that they're going to catch the Giants. I think that if you get them matched up in a series versus the Giants, which they may in the playoffs when we get there, I just don't think that it's going to go that well, considering how bad the Giants have been versus the Dodgers and Padres this year. But the Giants win the division, I think, in the NL West. They've got a 70-41 record right now, and this team is playing very good baseball. And they've already added Chris Bryant to that lineup, and this team's playing really, really good baseball. And I just don't see them giving up that lead. It's pretty simple. All right, for the playoffs, let's go ahead and head to the wild cards in the AL and the NL. In the wild card for the AL, we have the New York Yankees against the Boston Red Sox. Boy, is that going to be fun for a one-game wild card. Garrett Cole versus Nathan Eovaldi, I guess. The Yankees and the Red Sox, I simply just trust Garrett Cole more in a one-game series. That's simply why I have the Yankees winning this. It's not anything due to the Red Sox at all, and it will be in the Bronx. And I just trust Garrett Cole more in a one-game series. It's pretty simple. He's a way better pitcher than Nathan Eovaldi, and that's why they win this game. In the NL for the wild card, Los Angeles Dodgers against the Cincinnati Reds. The Dodgers will have home field advantage for this game. The Dodgers and the Reds, this is kind of an unfair matchup for the Reds because they're a very good team, but you have to face the Dodgers in the wild card, like a team that could make it to the World Series. The Dodgers win this one. Let's go ahead and head to the division series. In the AL, we have the Astros and Yankees and the Rays and White Sox. In the NL, we have the Giants and Dodgers and the Brewers and the Braves. So let's go ahead and head to the AL. Astros-Yankees. This is going to be an interesting one. We've seen the matchups of the ALCS. There's definitely some hate for the Astros from Yankees fans, understandably. And for this series, I think that the starting pitching and how good it is with the Astros and the hitting is going to play a big part in this series. I think that the Yankees are going to be competitive, but I think that the Astros win this. Rays White Sox, this is an interesting series because I think that this could go either way. Both teams have great bullpens. White Sox probably have better starting pitching. The Rays have a very good lineup. So do the White Sox. I'm going to go with the Rays here. They have more playoff experience in this team. And I think that the White Sox have some big concerns when it comes postseason time. They haven't played any competition in the AL Central. They really haven't. They haven't played any competition. And that's going to be the big factor. They just haven't played any competition. Sorry, White Sox fan, but it's true. Let's go ahead and head next to the NL. Giants-Dodgers. I think that the Dodgers win. The Dodgers have just simply not been good the Giants have not been good versus the Dodgers, the Padres this year. Maybe they'll improve from that for the rest of the season, but if they don't, I see them being a first-round exit. As great as their season was, you still have to be happy with that season. Brewers Braves, I think the NL East team is going to be an easy first-round exit, and that's going to happen here. The Brewers win simply, and I think the Braves might get swept in this series. But I'm just happy as a Braves fan in this hypothetical scenario that they would even make the playoffs, which would be pretty good with how bad their season's been. Let's go ahead and head to the AL and NL Championship Series where we have the Astros and Rays and the Brewers and Dodgers. Let's head to the AL and NL Championship Series. Let's start off in the AL, Astros Rays. We've seen this matchup before in the ALDS. You've got the Rays with good starting pitching, great bullpen. And this Rays team is going to be a pain in the butt for the Astros, and vice versa. But for this Rays team, they've got a lot of different pitchers that they can use, and I think that that's going to help. Just with how many pitchers that they have, it's going to help. So that Astros don't face the same guy for a lot of innings, because that's probably not good for them. But the Astros Rays here, I think that this is going to be a tight series. And I think that the Rays are going to put up a big fight. But I think the Astros win in 7 games, as much as I hate to say it. The NL is the Brewers and Dodgers. I'm going to stay with my Dodgers prediction. Because the Dodgers are adding Scherzer and Turner. They're going to get better. But the Brewers are going to be a big pain in the butt. I can go ahead and tell you that the Brewers are going to be a big pain in the butt with Burns, Woodruff, Peralta, and Hader and Williams in the back of that bullpen. Those are going to be some low-scoring games. But the Dodgers are the only team that have the pitching to compete with that. And the Dodgers honestly may blow it with the bullpen, but I'm going to go with Dodgers Astros as my World Series prediction. I'll say the Dodgers win. So yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and turn notifications because like I said, 92% of you that watch these videos are not subscribed. So go ahead and get your life together and hit that subscribe button, turn notifications, and leave a like. Thank you for watching, and peace.